Well, hello there, and welcome to this edition of Thought for the Week. It's very special for me. Tomorrow, believe it or not, is one of the most important dates in history because it commemorates the 20th of July in the year 1943. That's when I was born. Yes! My birthday tomorrow. So don't you forget it. You can say a prayer for me if you will. I don't want a card necessarily, but don't forget, I need prayer as much, if not more, than most people do. So there it is. Well, sorry about that, but I believe it's good for us to be real with one another, don't you? Because being real with one another takes us into the heart of fellowship. There's nothing worse than play acting. And it's so easy to do that, you know. These people in Philippi that we've been looking at, they were utter realists together. They identified with one another in good times and bad times. It made no difference. Remember what Paul said in the first chapter of his letter? For whether I'm in chains or defending and confirming the gospel, all of you share in God's grace with me. They were his brothers, they were his sisters, and they never turned their back on him in whatever situation they found him to be in. That reality in their relationships is what made that church work. There's so much hypocrisy around us, isn't there? Oh, I know the world is full of it. People play acting all the time. When Pontius Pilate said to Jesus, "What is truth?" Well, we can sympathize with him to some extent, although he would have heard the unvarnished truth if he'd let Jesus explain it all to him, the good news of the kingdom. But this desire for truth is something which we know perfectly well. You hear people on television, you read in your newspapers, you hear your politicians pontificating, and you think to yourself, I don't believe a word of this. Now, some of it might be true, but because so much of it isn't, it makes you doubt even that bit which is true, doesn't it? Well, now, we believers in Jesus, we must always live by the truth. The Greek word truth is the word aletheia, and the basic meaning of it is reality. Reality. The real me and the real you. But the trouble is, you know, we tend to wear masks. And when you and I meet each other, I put a mask up in front of me. We're used to wearing masks these days, these fiddly little cotton things that drape around our ears. So we're familiar with that. But most of us put up a mask in front of ourselves. It looks like us, and the unsuspecting can think it's me, but it's a mask. And the real me is hiding in behind here, wondering how you'd respond to me if you knew the real me rather than the me I project to you. And the reason why you get on so well with my mask is because the minute we meet, you put your mask up as well. So there's your mask and my mask relating to one another, but they don't relate to one another because they're not meeting one another. Now, come on. We've got to stop that nonsense. Let's make a resolution before the Lord that we're going to be real with one another and real with him. There's no point in anything else. The Lord bless you as you think that through. And have a great week, won't you? See you next time. Bye-bye.